Namo Dasa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Please wait, I have to share the screen. Okay. Now, we are studying the dependent origination. It is very profound and very sacred and very difficult to understand. I will try my best to explain for you to understand more about the Buddha Samubpada from the practical standpoint, practical application. So last week we are extensively discussed the Dhammas in the group number 2. In the group number 2, as you know, there are in the group number 2, there are five dhammas, five dhammas, Vinyana, Namarupa, Salayana, Phassa, Vedana, and Pali. In English, consciousness, and mind and matter, 6 internal bases, and contact, and feeling. So, among these 5 phenomena of the group number 2, I explained on the Salayana, 6 internal bases, because these 6 internal bases are the most important things to our life. That is why we need to know these 6 internal bases, how to connect to the contact and how to connect to the feeling. We have already explained in greater detail. Now, there are 3 dhammas in the group number 3. They are, Tana Upadana Kamma Bhava, or Kamma. In English, Tana means craving, Upadana means clinging, and Kamma is action. Bodily actions, verbal actions, and mental actions. All of these 3 actions are called Kamma. So, in the group number 3, there are 3 dhammas: craving, clinging, and action. In English, in Pali, Tana, Upadana, Kamma, Bhava. There are 3 phenomena, or 3 factors in the group number 3. So, these 3 factors are arising because of the feeling. Because of feeling, craving arises. You have to understand like this here. Because of contact, feeling arises. Because of feeling, craving arises. Because of craving, clinging arises. Because of clinging, action arises. Richard Mokpada tell us like this. It is called cause and effect. Because of feeling, craving arises. Craving means attachment or want or something we like. It is called, craving in Pali, dana. Dana. For example, when you see something in your eye, then if you like it, then it is a craving. If you want it, it is craving. If you want to get it, it is a craving. So when you see them, I have already explained to you last week how the feeling arises in the eye and ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. On these six internal bases, the feeling arises. So when you see something, the eye consciousness rises, and then contact also rises, and then at the same time, feeling also arises. So if you see something, if you feel like, then craving arises. So it is called because of feeling, craving arises. Craving arises. In the same way, if you
nguyên tắc đây là bây
hear,
giờ có đi có lại thì định cá này để kho thì bây giờ là anh muốn kho đúng không thì tôi không kho luôn nhỉ đây này còn
so if you hear some sound, then if you like it, that sound, if you are pleased to hear that sound, then it is called craving arises. In the same way, if you get some smell, good smell, then you like it, then it is called craving. Because of the feeling, craving arises. If you eat some kinds of food, then you like it, then it is called craving, tanha. If you touch something or someone and then you feel pleased, you like it, then it is called craving. And if you think of something, if you think about something, then you like it, then craving arises. In this way, because of feeling, craving arises. Because of feeling, craving arises. So the craving also may arise depending on the feeling. The feeling in the eye, the feeling in the ear, the feeling in the nose, the feeling in the tongue, the feeling on the body, and the feeling in the mind. Based on these six kind of feelings, the six kind of craving arises, we need to understand. When you see something you like it, the craving arises in the eye. When you hear something you like it, then craving arises in the ear. When you get some smells, then you like it, then craving arises in the nose. When you feel something on the tongue, then you like it, then craving arises on the tongue. When you feel something on your body, then you like it, then craving arises on the body. When you feel something in your mind, then craving arises in the mind, in the mind. In this way, the craving can arises on the six internet bases. So if you have craving, clinging may follows, and action also may follows. For example, if you want something, that is a dana, craving, And if you have a strong attachment, I want this, I want to get it in any way. In this way, in your mind, the craving becomes stronger and stronger. Then the stronger craving is called clinging. Clinging means a craving, the great craving. Normal craving is a tanha. The great craving, the strong craving is a clinging, upadana. So if you like something, it is a tanha craving. And if you like it very much, so that you cannot live without it, something like that. So in any way, I want to get it. I want trying to get it. If you have such kind of state, then it is called clinging, upadana. Because of craving, because of clinging, you try to get it. So that is action, karma. If you like it, and if you like it very much, then you try to get it. You try to uh, get it by bodily actions or by verbal actions, or sometimes by mental actions. In your mind, you are thinking how to take it, what I want in your mind. So in this way, the action may occur, action uh, may arise in three ways, verbally or mentally or bodily. In this way, the three kinds of karma or the three kinds of actions may arise because of clinging. So we need to understand that because of feeling, we have craving. And because of craving, we have clinging. Because of clinging, we have actions. So in this way, the the phenomena runs by means of cause and effect. In this case, consciousness is the cause, contact is the effect. And then the contact is the cause, the feeling is the effect. So in this way, cause and effect, because of consciousness, contact arise, because of contact, feeling arise, because of feeling, craving arise, because of craving, clinging arise, because of clinging, action arises. So what I want to tell you here is that there are three dilemmas, three factors in the group three. They are in Pali, Tanha, Upadana, and Kamabhava. In English, craving, clinging, and actions. So these three factors also arises in this very life. In this very life, the five factors and the group dharma are also arising in this very life. So in this life, in the Paticca in the 12 factors of the Paticca, there are 8 factors which represents in this very life. What are the 8 factors? There are 5 dhammas and group number 2. Yeah, Vijnana, Namarupa, Salarana, Phasa, Vedana. Where? Yeah, group number 2. Yes, yes. Vijnana, Namarupa, Salarana, Phasa, Vedana. Consciousness, mind, and matter, 6 internal bases or 6 senses, Phasa, contact, or and Vedana, feeling. These 5 dhammas are in the group number 2. So these 5 factors are also arising in this very life. That is why we have to know we have these 5 factors in this very life. These 5 factors are called 5 aggregates. This is the another name according to the Paticcasamuppada teachings. From the Birma perspective, there are another names: Rubekanda, Vedana-kanda, Sanya-kanda, Sankhara-kanda, and Vijnana-kanda. From the Birma perspective, there is another names of 5 aggregates. From the Paticcasamuppada perspective, there are another names of 5 aggregates, but they are the same in essence. They are the same in essence. Vijnana, Namarupa, Salarana, Phasa, Vedana. These 5 factors are also in this life. And there are 3 factors in the group number 3. And they are, Tanha, craving, Upadana, grasping or clinging, Kama Bhava, Kama process leading to reverse. Bhava means a Kama Bhava, active Kama accumulation. So Kama Bhava is of 2 kinds, Kama Bhava and Upapatti Bhava. I will explain this later. Now, you have to note only 3. Tana, Upadana, Bhava. This Bhava means a Kama Bhava. So these 3 factors are also arising in this present life. That is why in this present life, we may have 8 factors. 8 factors. Among the 12 factors of the Paticcasamuppada, in the present life, we have these 8 factors. The 5 factors in the group number 2. The 3 factors in the group number 3. So, in the past, we have 2 factors. We have already know the avijja and tanha. In the future, the coming soon. In the future also, there are 2 factors, jati and jara marana. Altogether, there are 12 factors. Among the 12 factors, the 8 factors are present in this life. So, in this case, group number 2, the dhammas in group number 2 and the factors in the group number 2 and the factors in the group number 3 are connected according to the cause and effect. But in this connection, we may cut by the practice of vipassana meditation, where we had to cut by which method can we cut the connections. Here we need to know the connection of feeling and craving. We may cut. Because of feeling, craving arises. So unconsciousness, the contact and feeling, these connections we don't need to cut. It is okay. But we need to cut the connection between feeling and craving. The final factor of the group number 2 and the initial factor of group number 3. Between these 2, we may cut. How to cut? How to disconnect between these 2? And how to connect? I will explain fast. How to connect in our daily life. If we don't practice vipassana meditation, the feeling connects to the craving all the time. The feeling connects to the craving. You know, when you see something, you like it, then feeling connects to the craving. When you hear some sounds, you like it, then the feeling connects to the craving. When you get some smell, you like it, then craving is connected to the feeling. When you eat something, you like it, then uh, feeling connects to the craving. When you touch something or someone, then you like it, then feeling connects to the craving. In the same way, when you feel the in your mind, in your thoughts, then the feeling connects to the craving. So if we connect from the feeling to the craving, then clinging will follows for sure. If the clinging follows, then the action also will follow. Then we accumulate karma. So in our everyday life, in our day-to-day life, if we open our eyes, the feeling connects to the craving, clinging, and action, something like that. When you hear some sounds, the feeling connects to the craving, then craving, clinging, and action. That is called Paticca Samuppada is connected. And the Paticca Samuppada factors runs continuously. When you get some smells also, then craving arises, craving, clinging, actions. When you eat something also, then craving arises, craving, clinging, action. When you touch something, then craving arises, craving, clinging, action. Connects continuously. When you think something also, the craving arises. Because of craving, clinging arises. Because of clinging, action arises. That is why we need to know uh, when we see something, craving, clinging, arising, action, continuously connected already. So in our day-to-day life, the Bodhicharya runs like this. But in the Bodhicharya teachings, the feeling is connected to the craving only. But in reality, if you don't like, then anger, craving instead of craving, the factor may change. Anger will arise. Anger. If you don't like, then you know instead of craving, anger may arise. And if you don't feel, uh, if you have neutral feeling, neither good or neither bad, in such situation, uh, ignorance or delusion arises instead of craving. In this way, also, we need to understand. Um, whatever you hear, craving is taken in the Paticca teachings because craving is prominent, easily arising. That is why in the Paticca teaching, only craving is taken or added as one factor of the Paticca Samuppada. So in this case, the group two dhammas and the group three dhammas are normally connected because of feeling craving arises. When the craving arises, the clingings and actions also easily follows. We cannot stop. But where can we stop? the feeling. The feeling. We must stop after the feeling, not giving the chance for the dana for the craving to arise. So when you see something, you observe the unconsciousness. Then you observe the unconsciousness, then craving cannot arise. In the same way, you observe the feeling, then also the craving cannot arise. So when you see something, you have to observe the feeling in your mind. Then you will see the feeling in the eye is not permanent. It is just arise and just disappear. Then you just see. So when you see just arises and just disappears of the feeling in the eyes, then there is no chance for the craving to arise. So observing mind, observing mind is called mega, the past. This mega, the past knowledge, mega jnana, the past knowledge. This past knowledge cut or prevent the craving not to arise in your mind. So as soon as you see something that you observe the feeling in the eye, then you will see the feeling in the eye is not permanent. It is rising and disappearing. So the observing mind replaced instead of the craving. So the craving cannot arise. There is no room for the craving to arise. In the place of the craving, your observing mind arises. So when you see something, at the moment you observe the feeling in the eye with your observing mind, contemplating mind, then that observing mind or contemplating mind is called, mega jnana, the past knowledge. This past knowledge is called vipassana mega, the past of vipassana. So this vipassana mega disconnects or cut between the feeling and craving. So the connection between feeling and craving is cut by the vipassana mega, the vast knowledge of the vipassana. It is called like this. So the Buddha teaches us to cut the connection between feeling and craving. So in this case, what we should understand here is that we have to observe every feeling that may arise in our body. When you see something, also you observe it. When you hear some sound, then you observe it. When you get some smell, you observe it. When you eat something, then also you observe it. When you touch something, when you have painful feeling or pleasurable feeling, whatever feeling arises on the body, then you observe it. And when you feel something in your mind also, you observe it. By observing every feeling that arises in your body, uh, the connection between feeling and craving is cut. That means that the craving cannot follow the feeling. Because of feeling, craving cannot arise. Because Vipassana Metta prevents it, intervenes it. Vipassana Metta intervenes it. Vipassana Metta prevents it from arising the craving to arise. So, in this way, if we practice Vipassana, then the craving cannot arise. If the craving cannot arise, clinging also cannot arise. If the clinging cannot arise, the action or karma also cannot arise. So the series of three factors in the group number 3 cannot arise if you practice Vipassana. That is why I want to tell you, whatever you see, whatever you hear, whatever you get smell, whatever you eat, whatever you touch, whatever you think, you have to observe. Observe means that you have to contemplate in order to see the arising and disappearing. That means to see the impermanent nature of those feelings. That is why when you practice Vipassana, the Vipassana Metta intervened or interrupt between the connection between the feeling and craving. So by interrupting of the Vipassana Metta, the craving cannot follow the feeling. The feeling. In this way, craving is removed or protected from your mind streams. Craving, if you can remove or prevent the craving, the clinging also cannot arise. In the same way, the action also cannot arise. Instead of those craving, clinging, and actions, the Vipassana Metta, the knowledge of Vipassana arises. So the knowledge of Vipassana is also the observing mind. When you observe it, you have observing mind or contemplating mind. This contemplating mind or observing mind is called Vipassana knowledge or Vipassana Metta. So you have to practice Vipassana in order for you to arise the Vipassana Metta, in order for the Vipassana Metta to arise repeatedly. Therefore, in our daily life, if we don't practice Vipassana, the series of craving, clinging, and action connects to the feeling. We have all the feelings all the time. We have the feeling all the time when we are alive. Only when we died, the feeling will not arise. So long as we are alive, we have feeling because we have 6 internal bases. So, so long as we have feeling, the craving, clinging, and action also follows. Because of feeling, craving arises. Because of craving, clinging arises. Because of clinging, action arises in this way throughout our life. Throughout our life, the nature Samuppada runs like this. If so, what happens if craving, clinging, and actions follow to the feeling all the time? What will happen to us? So if these 3 dhammas arise in us, then these 3 dhammas are called Samudaya Satya. the truth of the origin of suffering, the cause of suffering. These three dhammas are the cause of suffering. So all the time we have the cause of suffering. If we have the cause of suffering, we are sure to suffer in the future. So if we don't want to get the future suffering in the future sufferings, we need to practice the vipassana. So the dhammas and the group threes are, samudaya satya. The dhamma and the group two are dukkha satya. Dukkha satya means that, our life, we can say. The five khandhas are dukkha satya. And from this dukkha satya, from these five khandhas, craving, clinging, action arises, occurs. So these three dhammas are samudaya satya. Dukkha satya is effect or results. Samudaya satya is the cause. So our khandha, our five khandhas are dukkha satya because they are results. From those results, the three causes arise. The three causes, that means the craving, clinging, and action. Those three dhammas are called samudaya satya. The causes. For what? It is the cause. For future suffering, it is the cause. So the cause is samudaya satya. If we don't practice vipassana, we have samudaya satya all the time. We accumulated samudaya satya dhammas all the time. So when you feel then craving arises, then that time you have samudaya satya. And clinging arises, then you have samudaya satya. And action arises then you have samudaya satya. Those samudaya satya are the causes, for the future suffering. That is why if we allow those craving to arise without interrupted by the vipassana knowledge, then we will have samudaya satya. In this life, we accumulated samudaya satya all the time. If we have this samudaya satya dhammas, then we are sure to be reborn in the next life. So since we are reborn, we have five aggregates. Since we have five aggregates, we have dukkha satya again. In this life also, we have five khandhas. These five khandhas are called dukkha satya, the truth of suffering. So this dukkha satya also we obtained, we get because of samudaya satya in the past. The two factors in the group number one, avijja and sankhara. These avijja and sankhara are also samudaya satya. These samudaya satyas are the factors in the past life. Sorry. So because of samudaya satya in the past, we get the five khandhas. Now, our five khandhas um, arises because of samudaya satya in the past, because of the cause in the past. So the past dhammas are the cause, the present five khandhas are the results. Now we have the five khandhas. Those five khandhas are dukkha satya, the truth of suffering. From these five khandhas, we produce craving, clinging, actions, three dhammas every times, every day. So these three dhammas are the cause, samudaya satya. So if we don't cut the connection between feeling and the craving, we will accumulate samudaya satya all the time. The samudaya satya is the cause for suffering. So if we accumulate the cause for suffering, we are sure to get the suffering in the future. That is why, in order for us not to get the future sufferings, we need to practice vipassana in order to cut the connection between the feeling and the craving. So, even though we say to cut the connection between feeling and craving, in actual practice, we have to observe every feeling in our bodies. Whatever feeling arises in us, then we have to observe, and then we know the any feeling is not permanent. Every feeling is not permanent. They are arising and disappearing. Since you know this, you have vipassana knowledge. This vipassana knowledge will cut the connection between the feeling and craving. Then craving cannot rise, clinging cannot rise, action cannot rise. So in this way, today, how to cut the connection between feeling and craving. So in this case, not only the feeling, but also consciousness matters or any other dhammas. If you observe it, then you are cutting this connection. So according to the Paticca teachings, I just tell you to observe the feeling only. But when you observe the consciousness or mind, then at that moment also you are cutting this connection, the feeling craving. It implies like that. It means like that. So when you observe any matters, then you are cutting this connection. If you observe any other dhammas, then at that moment also you are cutting this connection. Because according to the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, there are 4 ways of contemplating. Contemplating the matters, contemplating the feeling, contemplating the consciousness, and contemplating the dhammas. In Pali names, Kaya Nupassana, Vedana Nupassana, Citta Nupassana, and Dhamma Nupassana. Depending on your like, you may observe. If you would like to observe the matters, rupa, then you may observe the rupa, the matters. Every matters on the body, you may observe it. The most important thing is to see the nature, impermanent nature of that rupa. If you want to observe the feeling, then you may observe the feeling. The most important things in this case also is to see the impermanent nature of the feeling. It is called a nature in Pali. In the same way, if you want to observe the consciousness or mind, you may observe it. The most important things in this case also is to see the impermanent nature of the consciousness. In the same way, if you want to observe the dhammas, the dhamma means any other phenomena, then you may observe. The most important thing is to know the impermanent nature of those dhammas. So the focal point of the Vipassana practice is to see the impermanent nature of the Dhamma, to see the suffering nature of the Dhamma, to see the non-soul, non-self nature of the Dhamma. In Pali, it is called anicca, dukkha, anatta. Anicca is impermanence, dukkha is suffering, anatta is no soul. So in order to discern or realize the anicca, dukkha, anatta, we have to practice. We have to observe the matters, the feelings, or the consciousness, or any other dhammas. Asri Sutta teaches us the four ways of contemplation. So we may observe, we may choose one of these four ways. Whatever ways we choose, we need to realize the impermanent nature of those dhammas. So if you know the impermanent nature, then you already know the suffering, you already know the non-soul. For example, if you observe the feeling, then whatever feeling may arise, you observe it thoroughly and um, carefully with mindfulness. At that time, you will realize that the feeling is not your belongings. The feeling is just a feeling. It has nothing to do with you at all. According to its nature, it arises and then it disappears. When the time comes, it arises, and when the time comes, it disappears because the feeling arises because of the cause. If there is cause, there is feeling. If there is no cause for the feeling, then the feeling also uh, disappears. So in this way, when you observe the feeling thoroughly, carefully, with mindfulness, then you will realize that the feeling is rising and disappearing. So that is called impermanent nature. When you see this, then you have already know the impermanent nature. And when you see the arising and disappearing, you have already know the suffering nature. When you see the arising and disappearing of the feeling, then you have already know non-self, no soul nature, because the feeling is arising and disappearing. I don't own. This feeling does not belong to you. This feeling is not your belonging. You have already you have come to know like this. The feeling is arising and disappearing. So arising is also not a person. The disappearing nature is also not a person. So the feeling also cannot be set as I or you or he or she. It is just a feeling. It has the arising and disappearing nature in it. We cannot say the feeling as the person. We cannot say the feeling as the atta or soul. So the feeling itself arises and disappearing. So it cannot last long. It cannot in, last for a second. So the feeling itself is suffering. You will see it. That is why when you thoroughly and mindfully observe the feeling with mindfulness, then you will realize thoroughly the nature of the feeling. The feeling automatically arises and disappears, arises and disappears. When you see this, you will understand a nature impermanent. You will understand dukkha because the feeling itself arises and disappears. It itself suffers, so it is called dukkha. And the feeling itself is not a person, not soul. When you see like this, you realize that no soul nature. So when you thoroughly observe the feeling, you will see the rising and disappearing of it. Then you have already understood anicca nature, dukkha nature, and anatta nature. In English, impermanence, suffering, and no soul. You have already understood these three characteristics of the vipassana. So the key point for the vipassana is to see the arising and disappearing of the Dhamma. Whatever you observe, you must see, you must realize the arising and disappearing. Whatever you observe, whatever you contemplate, if you see the arising and disappearing, then your practice is correct. You are on the right path. So this right path is called vipassana. Vipassana metta, the past knowledge of the vipassana. That is why here today I give the special instructions to practice the vipassana correctly. And also in the Parijasamuppada, the dwellings of the Parijasamuppada, in which place we may cut the connections. I explain the connection between feeling and craving. How to cut by way of observing. In other words, by the practice of vipassana, we have to cut this connection. If we cut this connection day by day, as much as possible, if we gradually, regularly practice vipassana day by day, then this connection is, weak. And finally, this connection, if we can break this connection totally, then we were free from suffering at all. So when we have freed from all kinds of suffering, then freedom from suffering is called nibbana. In order to achieve this stage, we have to practice vipassana. By gradually practicing vipassana, we may reach to the freedom from suffering. We may remove the samudaya satya, the cause of suffering. What are the samudaya satya in this case? Craving, clinging, and action. These three are samudaya satya, the cause for the future sufferings. If we can dispel all these three factors at all, we killed samudaya satya. If we can dispel the samudaya satya or killed the samudaya satya totally, then we have no samudaya satya, we have no cause for suffering, then we have free from all kinds of suffering. So free from all kinds of suffering is called nibbana. So in order to attain this situation, in order to get this situation, we have to practice vipassana. So by gradually practicing the vipassana between cutting the connection between the feeling and craving, then finally the craving, clinging, and action, all of these three factors totally will be totally eradicated. At the time, you will release from suffering. Now we cannot eradicate all of these three factors. That is why we are not free from suffering yet at that moment. But if you regularly practice the vipassana on the feeling or on the consciousness or on the metas or on any other dhammas, and you must see the arising and disappearance of any factor. So the focal point of the vipassana is to see the arising and disappearing. Whatever you observe it, the most important things you must see is the arising and disappearing. If you see this, you have vipassana knowledge. This vipassana knowledge prevent the craving, clinging, and action from arising. So, in this way, the vipassana knowledge prevents us from craving, clinging, and actions. Then we have no samudaya satya, we have no the cause for suffering at the moment of practicing vipassana. If we don't practice vipassana, those craving, clinging action will follow the feeling automatically because it is the nature of the dhamma process. That is why when you are practicing vipassana, the connection will be cut. When you are not practicing vipassana, those dhammas will normally connect again. So in our life, we can guess the time we are cutting this connection and the time we are not cutting this connection. We may guess which time is much more. The time we are cutting this connection is a few minutes or a few hours. The times of connection is much more than the time we are cutting this connection. So we may imagine that is why now we have the ways to cut this. We have already know to cut this joint, these connections. Then you should try to practice vipassana. Okay, now today I'm trying to explain, to understand how to cut these two connections, group number 2 dhammas and group number 3 dhammas. They are joined together all the time if we don't practice vipassana. Only when we practice vipassana, this connection is cut. So that is why now I hope you understand the effect of the vipassana. by practice and vipassana, this connection is cut and this connection is broken. If we don't practice vipassana, this connection goes normally. So which way you will choose? You may think of yourself. I show the way. The practice is for your own duties. Okay, now we have time. Time is up. Now we should stop here for this day. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's share our meritorious deeds we are accumulating today by saying in Pali was what? Idame Bonyam Azawa Kayang Wahan Hodu Idame Bonyam Nibanasa Bajayo Hodu Imam Bonya Bagang Sabha Satana Bajima Sadhu 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 Suki Hoda Dogamu Jada, be happy, be free from all kinds of suffering.
Thank you so much, Sajado.
Thank you, Sada.
Thank you so much.
That you online students offered the breakfast and lunch yesterday and today. Today
Yeah.
you say Sadhu, you say Sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Yeah, online students, Dhamma online students, donation for breakfast and lunch 2 days successively yesterday and today. Okay. We have
Thank you, Sada.
we have 17 monks and novices.
Yeah.
Two
Yeah.
Vietnamese yogis.
Oh.
Yeah, 2 Vietnamese yogis come here and practice meditation under my
For how long?
guidance. Yes.
For how long, Sada?
3 they come 3%. 1% come here with the arrival visa. That's why he went back yesterday. Now 2% left. They will stay here for about 2 months. They said.
2 months.
Yes,
Oh.
2 months. No, nearly 1 month now.
Oh.
20th of the last month, 22nd of the last month that they arrived. So it is almost 1 month now. They are
How come they can
with us.
stay so long like that? How come they can stay so long like that? Because no visa, we can stay only for 1 month.
Yes, they came here. These 2% came here with the meditation visa. That is why they can stay here.
Oh.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, see you.
See you next week.
Yeah, see you next week.
Good night,
Đi
Sada.
Myanmar đâu có cần visa đâu.
Không cần visa thì chỉ được ở 1 tháng thôi. Okay, Sada, good night.
Okay, see
Thank
you
you,
next
Sayadaw.
week.
Good night. Thank you so much.
Be happy, be happy.
Thank you so much,
See-
Sajida. Good night.
See you next week, Sada.
Thank you.
Yes, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.